I always believed it all my life that as long as you work at something hard, you can do anything. And Robert Sapolsky points out that it's simply not true, and it's called John Henryism. And I want to tell you a little bit about that and why is it called that. So here we go. I'm just going to read you from the book because I love this passage and it's so amazing, and he said it so well. Having an illusory sense of control in a bed setting can be so pathogenic that one version of it gets a special name in the health psychology literature. It could have been included in chapter 15, but I saved it until now. As described by Sherman Jakes of Duke University, it is called John Henryism. The name refers to the American folk hero who, hammering a 6-foot-long steel drill, tried to outrace a steam drill tunneling through a mountain. John Henry beat the machine only to fall dead from the superhuman effort. As James defines it, John Henryism involves the belief that any and all demands can be vanquished so long as you work hard enough. On questionnaires, John Henry individuals strongly agree with statements such, "When things don't go out the way I want them, it just makes me work harder," or "Once I make up my mind to do something, I'll stay with it until the job is completely done." People that have an internal locus of control, they feel like they can control things. And here he says that it could be a good thing if you were born into a middle class, or if you were born into people with money. If you were born into a very secure environment, it could be a good thing. However, if you were born poor and there's so many things against you, and or you're an immigrant, or you're starting over somewhere, this could be devastating. You can't think like that because you're going to really run yourself to the ground. You have to be careful. And hear what he says. What's wrong with that? Nothing. If you have the good fortune to live in a privileged world in which one's efforts truly do have something to do with one's rewards, and in a comfortable middle-class world, an internal locus of control does wonders. For example, always attributing events in life to your own efforts is highly predictive of a lifelong health among that population of individuals who are the epitome of privileged stratum of society. However, in the world of people born into poverty, of limited educational or occupational opportunities, of prejudice and racism, it could be a disaster to be a John Henry, to decide that those insurmountable odds could have been surmounted if only you worked even harder. John Henryism is associated with a marked risk of hypertension and cardiovascular disease. So as you see, if you were not so lucky, and you're trying to change your life, and you're trying to change where you're at, and you're trying to work very hard, you have to be very careful, and you have to be gentle with yourself, and you can't just beat yourself up. And because it's hard, like I said, social mobility, it's hard, in order to live longer, in order to be less stressful life, you have to move socially up. And to do that, it's hard work, and it doesn't happen overnight.